Hey guys, what is up? It is Liam Chase, Brett's Liam Chase, or whatever you want to call me today, and welcome back to a brand new video. I have a lot of natural light today because I'm trying to film in a different angle, but today I want to talk about being 4 years on testosterone. What are the changes that I have encountered? And I haven't really been consistent with my tea. So let's get into this video. And if you haven't already guessed it, I am FTM, female to male. So let's sit down and let's talk about the changes. Alright, so I am approximately 4 years on testosterone. And I haven't always been consistent with my testosterone. For the last year, I've been on my testosterone consistently, but within the 4 years, I have been off and on, off and on. Some of those reasons were financially. I couldn't really afford it. And a lot of people are like, you're in Canada!
You get free healthcare.
Yes and no. Our free healthcare doesn't really include medication or dental or vision, but we can go to the hospital for free. But anyway, so that was one thing. Also, some relationships, when it came to dating, a lot of people were like, oh, I don't want you to change who you are. I like you for you. You know, that rodeo. So I went through that, but a lot of it had to do with financial reasons. Being trans, finding a 9-to-5 job per se has been challenging. Nevertheless, a lot of times I've lost my jobs for being trans. So that is my personal reason why I wasn't consistent with my testosterone. A lot of people are like, oh, you're not dysphoric enough, or you don't really need it. And like people like to like poke at you, but I can guarantee it was just financially. I couldn't afford it. Testosterone that I get is like $70 Canadian, which if you're living paycheck to paycheck and really don't really have a lot of money coming in to support yourself, it's really hard to stay up to date on medication. I also have ADHD, so I do take Adderall, which is expensive. I pay $111 for my Adderall, so you know. But anyway, so I'm happy that I have been consistent with my testosterone, and it has been a journey. It has been a roller coaster of events. Now that I've been more consistent in the last year with testosterone, I feel more connected to myself. Whereas when I was off and on testosterone, I was very uncomfortable. I was more anxious. I was always scared that people were going to out me. I was just very timid to go out in public because honestly, I feel like testosterone for me personally is like a security blanket. It makes me feel more comfortable and confident with who I am. However, the changes that I've encountered through the years, like I said, my confidence has spiked up. I feel more comfortable in social engagements, going out in public or going to networking events or concerts. I feel more comfortable being myself. Whereas before T, I was a little bit more timid, and I would wear layers and layers and kind of like blend in the background because I didn't want anyone to know. So that's one thing. Another thing that I've noticed is I don't really sleep as much. Now, don't get me wrong, I like sleep. I like a good nap, but sleeping in for me is like 8 a.m. Like I can't really sleep past 8 a.m. Like sleeping in for me, like what is sleep? Like I don't really sleep. Like maybe maximum hours of sleep I can get is maybe 6. And that's like if I did like a 10K run or is very like outdoorsy all day, and then I'm like dead exhausted. Other than that, I don't really sleep. Another change is eating. I notice, especially when it's coming like closer to my shot day, my hunger spikes up. I get hungry a lot more on testosterone, and water has become like my best friend. I remember even when it was like my 2 weeks on testosterone, My body craved water, like ice cold water. And that's all. Still to this day, this is like my go-to drink. Like, don't get me wrong, I take my carotene, I take my protein shakes and smoothies and that, but water's the thing. Other changes that I've noticed more drastically in the last couple of years is, you've guessed it, my hairline is like receding, and I'm not a huge fan. So I am kind of tempted to kind of grow out my hair, try to blend it in so it's not as noticeable. So that's a new thing. It's kind of weird for me because like your hairline is receding going on testosterone, which is kind of like a con, but I mean it is what it is. But you grow hair everywhere else, so it's like you're growing hair, but then you're losing hair. Oxymoron. Other changes on testosterone coming into 4 years, my body is still slowly changing. And I think that's always going to happen. Obviously, when you first start testosterone, you see changes more rapidly. And you're always looking in the mirror. You're like, oh, 3 days on T, what changed? And as you progress on T, you don't really notice the subtle changes. But I've been trying to like check myself out more, seeing changes. So with that being said, my body is still slowly changing for the better. The last 2 years were rough for me because I wasn't consistent with hormones or medication. Just because I hit rock bottom. I didn't know where I was going. However, that's story time for another day. So with that being said, my hips were starting to get more like Shakira, you know, hips don't lie. Like I was getting curvy, which really, really affected me. Not like my dysphoria went up, and I hated myself. I hated my body, and it was just a really dark place for me. I went from like a 28, 29 waist to like a 32, 33, which really triggered me because I was getting curvy. However, now that I've been consistent on testosterone for around a year, well, yeah, it would have been a year in November, it has been good. My hips have been narrowing down. Plus, since I bought this house that I'm currently in, I am starting to get out walking more. I'm starting to do more physical activity, which is helping. And where I am on a higher dosage of testosterone now, I feel like I'm more active, which is better self-care for me, and I feel more happy. So that is also good. And I'm currently, since it's 2020, I don't really like to say I have New Year's resolutions, but my goals, and I know a lot of people do this, is to get in shape. But I'm sticking to it. I have my calendar over there, and today is day 4 out of the 60-day fitness journey with Beachbody Insanity. Today is day 4, which is, oh gross, pure cardio. Not a huge fan of cardio. But we're going to slay it. So that is one change, especially in the last few months. I've noticed that my body is starting to get more V-shaped, and my shoulders are getting more broader. My shoulders are getting more squared. I can't really fit in the shirts that I have anymore, so note to self, I do need to start shopping again soon. That's one thing with testosterone. You lose weight, you gain weight, you lose... Like, it's a lot of it is water weight, so it's trying to find that comfortable balance. Also, a little bit of an update. My beard, you can't really see it. Oh my god, my acne is coming back. I don't even want to talk about that, but we're going to talk about that in another video. But my beard, I'm able to grow a more fuller beard now, so that's a great change I enjoy. And also, you can't really see him, but I'm slowly starting to grow a pedo stash, so I'm pretty happy about that. I'm blending in with all the Scotian boys now, so you know what I mean. So those are like the major changes that has happened in the 4 years. Also, let's talk about bottom growth. So mom, dad, if you're watching, sorry, may not want to watch this. So a lot of guys talk about this, your downstairs area. I know a lot of people don't like using the V word, so we're not going to use the V word here because I want people to feel that they can come to this channel, it feels safe, and they're not triggered. So your downstairs area, your Johnson, your Jerry, your worm, your little bookworm, your snake, your pony, whatever you refer to your little guy, it's going to grow once you're on hormones. Now, this doesn't happen overnight, and it's not a drastic growth. Jurassic, like the dinosaur. Anyway, it can grow anywhere from an inch to 3 inches in growth, and it kind of grows a little bit wider, which I don't really want to talk too much about in this video, but we will talk about it in another video. But he gets a little bit more sensitive on testosterone, so that's been a change. Another changes is body hair everywhere, toes, legs, armpits, shoulders, back, the buttocks, which I didn't know that was possible, but I'm kind of looking like that, you know, that furry thing from Star Wars, that brown thing. What's that thing called? You know what I mean? So I've been just coming into like a beast, like really hairy. Like I remember one of my exes, she's like, "You're turning into a werewolf." Maybe I am. So those have been the major changes and this journey of testosterone. So what are your changes that you've noticed on testosterone? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow in tomorrow's video.